of course, I have someone from a section of business which sort of supports the Indian economy. Funding is so important today for supporting this growth that India is seeing. We have Mr. Shyam Srinivasan of Federal Bank with us. Sir, first question, as far as the banking industry is concerned, you start the list and we have like a long list of leaders that you have, in front of you to look up to. Who's that someone that you always looked up to in terms of the banking practices, business practices, and have always remained constant in that sort of understanding?
No, it's somebody who started out in the 80s. My all-time hero has been Mr. Wagul, right? Somebody whom I've looked up to, and in a curious way, I sought him out to make him my mentor. And he's always been somebody to go to and been very supportive. And having started in a foreign bank, the other was Jerry Rao. I think these two gentlemen were truly inspiring, and I hope some of those practices are with me now.
Perfect. So one question that I want to understand from you, in the last 1.5, 2 years, we've seen a lot of balance sheets being deleveraged. Do you think that becomes the biggest compelling reason for a strong revival in private capex? Because till the time you're struggling with a heavy balance sheet, it becomes difficult. But now, since that practice has been undertaken, what kind of revival do you see as far as private capex is concerned?
See, we're already seeing signs of it, right? I think on another platform more recently I mentioned, with many of the large companies at 70% plus utilization, Capex is bound to happen. It's only a matter of time. We're seeing green shoots in some areas. So I would think in the next 4 to 6 months, because there's some element of what the elections will play out and when that's going to be. But certainly in calendar 24, you can see the animal spirits back in a big way. And India seems to be an island of excellence in a sort of a slowing world. So for every good reason, there's going to be momentum, and I'm hoping that we will see it all in 24, early or later part of 24.
Absolutely. Investors in the domestic space or the foreign space looking at India, the latest growth print, how much optimism that gives you on the way ahead for the country. And the second thing, does that strong growth also sort of give you an indication that any rate cut at whatever point sort of gets delayed further? Because since growth is not an issue, let's focus on inflation. Does that sort of give you that understanding?
I think yes, but like I mentioned a while back, the key thing is not about rate increase or decrease. I think people are looking at stability. Certainly all the developments suggest that there is underlying growth, momentum is there, rural economy is coming back quite well, deleveraged balance sheets, banks are in great shape, corporates are in good shape. So I think momentum is with India, and in many ways the regulatory interventions have kept the system going quite well. So I would think growth is not going to be stymied by anything as long as there's stability and comfort that interest rates are not going to sort of run away, which it is not going to. So I would think reduction in rates is probably a while away, but certainly stability is visible, and that itself is a great inspiration for businesses to go out and do the stuff that they need to do.
Okay, one final question. There was this, a couple of years ago, we were talking about the disruption as far as supply chains are concerned, small, large businesses are concerned. In the last 1 year, 1.5 years, we've sort of put those things back together, small businesses, large businesses, and have got back to their original performance. What is the biggest theme that you foresee for the next year as we speak about it today?
I think it's going to be a build-up on all that you mentioned. For long, we've said technology will disrupt, right? And that's probably a reality. But I think that narrative is changing from technology will disrupt to technology is enabling. Because no longer is technology the preserve of somebody.
Correct.
It's been democratized. The platforms have been democratized. It's only institutions that have the mindset to take that and scale it up. So I don't think any longer it's a disruption, it is the scaling up. And that invariably is a question of how they sight the economy, how they're seeing the environment. All things look like it's India plus, it's India's time. So I would think it's going to be scaling up in the context of all that platforms that have come through. So I look forward to 24, 25 as being big calendar years for the country.
Okay. One question before I let you go. You've also been on the jury as far as IBLA 2023 is concerned. How was your entire experience? What was your reading of the whole process and the work that goes behind it? And finally, celebrating those names, selected by the jury members today.
No, I think it was great. Let me tell you, I always thought I knew leadership at one level, and there was only one style. When the list of people who were in the potential candidates came to me, I did read through the 60 odd names and groups that came up. There were 60 styles. Hard to tell which is better, which is less better, right? So what it taught me was that every style works, and maybe one person has to have many styles to deal with it. So it's quite a fascinating experience. The process was, I would think, quite democratic. The jury chair and the nine of us had exciting time discussing that, and I'm glad we arrived at the best of breed.
Absolutely, we have, and I've seen people starting to walk in. I won't hold you here any longer. Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan, for speaking to us, and have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pavitra, with that, it's back to you. Very soon we'll be starting the awards night, and just asking all the viewers to stay tuned and enjoy the evening.
All right, yeah, I think it's just going to be a few moments from now. Everybody seems to be taking their seats, and it's been.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV18 on all of our digital platforms.